The 9, if you buy the subscription, which I did, is $350, and it comes with this case and one battery, the normal accessories, charging cable, and a mount. If you don't get the subscription, the 9 is $450. The Max is the most expensive of the three. It's $400 price regular, or $500. So it's about $50 more than the 9. Again, the 9 is the newest version. This came out a year or so ago, the Max. This is the Hero 8. That's the cheapest of the three. You can get that for $300 or $350, depending on if you get subscription or not. On the Hero 8, it's got a 12 megapixel. The GoPro Max is 16.6 or 18. Remember, there's two lenses here, so it blends them for 16.6 or 18. And then the Hero 9, a 20 megapixel lens. You can see the lens is a little different than the Hero 8. I mean, this is a better lens. I would say, from my experience, it does take slightly better. I mean, these things are hard to notice, the differences, unless you're really getting into professional recording and you're messing with the images. I mean, for most normal people, you're not going to tell a huge difference in the images between the two. I like the subscription. We had an issue with the Max. These lenses are extremely soft on the Max, which was unanticipated to me. It brushed something and got scratched. It got replaced by GoPro. With the subscription, you do have a charge to replace the camera, but for any reason, if there's an issue with it, they will replace it, which is nice. And one good thing about GoPro, their shipping is super fast. I got the GoPro Hero 9 within a couple days of ordering it. The accessories were a couple days later. So that's a really great thing. The one bad thing that is happening now is a lot of the really cool accessories are out of stock for the Hero 9. This lens, you can actually swap this out. There's a special lens they make, which is supposed to be GoPro's widest lens ever. It's a $100 accessory, and you can throw that on there. There's also cool filters. This case itself over the lens is replaceable. The Hero 8 doesn't have that. The Hero 8, you can see here, there's a separation. So the Hero 8, if you scratch this cover, that's going to be, I think, the end of your camera. But there are some filters that you can buy for the Hero 8. I have a friend who has one who's got some cinematic style filters, and I have seen them advertised. I mean, these are the two main comparisons for most people. The GoPro Max is kind of in a class of its own because it has a lens in the back and the front. So I took this, we went camping in the Sierras. I have some videos on my channel if you want to check them out. Those were all shot with the Max. The cool things about the Max, it's got these two equal size microphones, front and back. The sound quality is great with the Max. There aren't a lot of major differences between the Hero 8 and the Hero 9. If you look at their website, they talk a little bit about how this sensor on the 9 is better, but I think the big selling points for the Hero 9 over the Hero 8 are going to be that the battery for the Hero 9 is supposed to last 30% or has 30% more capacity, which I really like, because if you record with either of these, first of all, these things get hot even if you're not in the sun, and I think that really messes up the efficiency of the battery. And the other thing is, you really can't videotape that long at the higher qualities. The battery is a big deal for a lot of people. I know that's why they advertise that. I know that's why they advertise it, because anyone who has recorded with either of these cameras, you could run down your battery in 20, 30 minutes. I mean, just one video, you'll be out of battery. So you got to have all kinds of extra batteries or come up with an external battery pack. They are decent products. The company, the customer service, if you talk to them, I don't know if they're in India or whatever, they're okay. They could be better. I guess they could be worse. It would be. You can see that the 9, it's considerably bigger than the 8. And I think this is another selling point. The camera itself is bigger than the 8. So you can see there, wider. So it is wider. That's about how much wider the 8 is than the 9. I mean, overall, it's a bigger camera. Now, one big selling point is the front screen. This thing, you can barely see it. It's almost like a black and white. I mean, this is like early 2000s technology, and it's almost unusable. I mean, it would have been, most people would have been okay even if that wasn't there. Again, almost no use in that. This front screen though, for people who record themselves, or it gives you information, it gives you a preview, and it's actually a nice screen. I mean, it's similar in quality to the regular screen. The front screen is really nice. Now, the modes are pretty similar. The waterproofing is a little different. These two can go to 33 feet. This one's only 16 feet. They do sell a case where, you get much more waterproof. This is supposed to have Hyper Smooth 3. And when I was on a hike, we did like a 10-mile hike, and I had this on my backpack. I was very impressed with how the Hyper Smooth turned out. As I was walking, it was sort of leveling out and balancing. So that was very impressive. One thing that the GoPro does, the GoPro 9, is the flip screens. So, I mean, this thing is like seamless. You can see that. And it's almost like having that gyroscope handle versus the 8. I mean, you got to go into settings and flip it. And so that's really another nice thing about the 9, is being able to flip. You see how it flipped? Auto exposure's up there now. And I did have one time where I was recording in my vehicle. I was using that suction cup mount, which actually is very handy, and it works very well. And Hero 8 and Hero 9 have 8x slow-mo. Obviously, you get a better camera sensor here. You get the front display, the bigger battery. I kind of like having the bigger camera. Now, some negatives about all of these GoPros, the latches. So the thing I don't like about the 8 is this thing just flips off. I mean, it has a little loop here, and it makes it possible to add your mod, but I've dropped that thing many times, and sometimes you can't really get it in the right way. So that's one issue I have with the case, the 8. The Max is probably the most straightforward of all of them. You push this button down, it unlocks, and it pops open, and this sucker does not come off. You probably break it off before it comes off. To get it back on, you just push it down, slide it up. Now, they have a new thing on the 9. So I have an unboxing video of the 9 where I talk about this, but now this is spring-loaded. And for people that don't have nails, or even for women, this is going to be an issue, I think. So you can push it down, but getting it off, you have to dig in there. This will probably soften up with age. So, I mean, pushing it down, the waterproofing, that's probably what it's for. I still have to say, though, that I really don't like the Hero 8's flippity-doo-dah, lose this thing in the sand when you're, swapping out your battery. So one more thing here. The other thing, GoPro, I mean, the space on these cameras is limited, but this memory card thing, it's a pain. I mean, I can do it, not always correctly, but it's for some people, this is very hard to use their memory card thing. You almost have to take the battery out, and then you get a little better way to get at the memory card. Or some people use a tool to get that thing out. So I'll try to have you guess which one is which. So this is the Max battery. It's taller than the Hero 9. And in my experience, it does last longer than the Hero 8. The Hero 8 is just, I mean, it's just a little dinky sucker. And the Hero 9, I mean, it's a much bigger, I don't even have it all the way lined up for you. It is a much bigger battery. And it's wider, it's taller, it's long, you know, slightly longer. So this is a big deal. And I think just alone, the battery size for me push me towards the 9. Otherwise, I'd have to carry 4 of these on the 8. I think the 8 is a great camera. If you already own it, unless you really want these extra features, I wouldn't get the 9. If you just got money to burn, do it. I think the Max is good too. Just, you know, I don't see myself using the 360 as often as I would like to have that. The front screen is nice. The larger screen size is nice on the Hero 9. And I think that that was the way to go for me. Pro tip here. This is the dual battery charger for the Hero 9. Now, a lot of people who have these old cameras, you can charge the max battery in the Hero 8, but it doesn't work the other way. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's going to shock you. All 3 of these batteries charge in the Hero 9 charger. They're not perfect. You need to leave them somewhere where they are not going to get bumped or anything, but they do make a connection. And I don't make any guarantees that this isn't going to ruin your batteries, but they do connect. They use the same thing for the pin connectors, so that's why I thought it would work, and it does work. Now, I've been shooting this video with the light mod on the tripod. I don't really like this tripod. I think it's flimsy and unstable. The handle is very nice quality, but overall, it's kind of goofy. Crab leg thing that is just, I'm not thrilled with it. The light mod is cool. They call it the world's most versatile battery. It comes with a limited lifetime guarantee. Kind of a goofy thing here is it will not automatically connect to the camera, although I do have a workaround for that I'm about to show you. You have to get this external case, the media mod. The light does come with an adapter, so you can put it on its tripod or on this headgear. I put it on the tripod right now because it actually helps. I mean, this isn't a low light setting, but the light is very nice. So let me turn it off. That's without the light. I mean, it even makes a difference in the quality of the iPhone picture. So this is low light, there's a medium, and then there's a high, and it's bright. I mean, it's like a decent flashlight. I don't know how long the battery is going to last, but I like this thing. The other cool thing about the GoPro subscription is that you get discounts on accessories, which make the prices fair. Otherwise, you know, their accessories are pretty expensive. So this is the light. Woo! Now, they give you this to attach to the bottom, and I'm not convinced this is also a good, I mean, at some points I'm going to break this thing taking it off. But here's what I was going to show you as a pro tip here. So what you could do is, if you had a bolt or, you know, even just a clip or something, you can put these together and you'll have a light. I mean, it's not going to be like the GoPro mount. Or if you could get a bolt, if you could find, you know, a bolt that threaded onto here, you could make this work with your camera and putting it through there and then just putting that bolt, putting pressure. You'll have a little light there. And I found that was an issue with these, is that if you're in your garage or someplace where there's not a lot of light, the cameras really do need a light. Again, they're not perfect, and the price points I think are reasonable for any of them. You know, I remember back in the day we used to buy Sony camcorders that were 480p or whatever, and people were spending $2,000. And I mean, they were nice, but they were big and they were expensive. And these are reasonably priced for what you get, the performance that you get out of these. I think the prices are pretty fair, actually. And with the subscription, which again gives you a discount on accessories and protection if you break them or mess them up, and you can also do cloud storage. I think that the value is in these. Now, I know Costco has the Hero 8. They have a good deal on it. You probably can get some good used deals as people upgrade from the 8 to the 9. The Max, I think, is for more of a specialized user. Again, it is cool that you have the screen that you can work on, and you can use the lens looking back at you, so you don't even really need the GoPro 9 front lens, and you have the added versatility of being able to do a lot of action recording, skiing, biking, surfing, whatever. And I think this is the real action person's camera. I think these two are more for the video, people who are not really doing the outdoors action as much, but use them as cameras and do a part-time recording of action. So I also like the 9 comes with this soft case. The 8, this is what you get. So if you guys have any questions on these, let me know. Again, I have footage on my YouTube page with all 3 of these cameras. This Sierra trip, I recorded all on the Max. There's a hike, the John Muir Wilderness video that I recorded with the Max. So you can check that out. Again, the video footage is gonna be very similar. And you're not taking, I took some photos. I also did a river video with the Max. That was really cool. But I found I'm not taking that much photos. And to my last point, the iPhone. Again, the iPhone's gonna work for a lot of people. There are a lot of limitations. You don't have the lens, it's a small lens. Lighting is a big issue with iPhones. Water is a problem, and it's a big unwieldy thing to have. There aren't a lot of good mounts that are, the GoPro, the mounts are built in. They've designed all these accessories. You could buy this stuff for the iPhone, but I think that the iPhone is okay for most people for video, but for me, working on editing videos, I started to see the limitations of the iPhone very quickly. And the audio is a problem on the iPhone. That was another big thing. If you're moving around taking video, it was difficult to deal with that. I think the GoPros are a good investment. Picking which one works for you. If you already own this, you have a bunch of accessories. You don't need all the extra whistles and doodads. You got extra batteries for your 8. Keep your 8. If you have a Max, I don't think there's really much of a point to upgrade to a 9 if you're using this for action. You're gonna have all the same quality basically. If you want more battery space, buy a spare battery. It's pretty simple. But if you don't have any of them, or if you really like some of the features, I think the Hero 9 has great value. If you have any questions, let me know. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.